I mean, and so this is a big deal right now because of just like geopolitical reasons, our economy, uh, the wars that we're like, I don't even want to say co-conspirators, but like the wars that we're like uh, surreptitiously involved in. Um, where is y'all's mind when it comes to like someone that you're dating or with or whatever who has like totally different political views than you do? Because you know politics is not just politics was it what it is right now today. It's politics what it's been over the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you know, and how that plays into everything.
I'll let y'all answer
Are you
first.
foreign? Your parents from an island or something?
No, you're American, right?
Trinidadian, my father is.
Oh, okay. Well,
You are?
I'm just asking because I feel like maybe as a foreign descent, y'all might have a different perspective. But I'm just curious.
I said I'll let y'all answer first.
Go ahead, Rome.
As far as political stuff, we really don't even discuss it. I think mine understands that like I'm pro humanity and whoever's hurting, I just think it's messed up all around. We don't really discuss it. It's not even like a.
Is it because y'all differ on y'all's views or political parties or like?
Or is politics just something
y'all don't care about?
Yeah, politics is just something I personally don't care about strictly because I believe they're all liars and we just really pick the best of the worst.
Yeah.
And they just trick you into believing that you have a choice or you have a say, and it's all ran by stuff that's like out of our control. But to make us feel like we have some say in the world or some control or that our lives are worth something to somebody else, they say, oh, go out and vote. But I know voting is important. Let me say that. I know voting is important, but I'm saying I don't think we have the power that they say we have. I think it's to give us hope.
I don't believe in hope.
But keep voting. Sorry.
I actually do believe that we have the power. It's just that America's generally just so divided that you can't consolidate their power to make a change. You know, like for instance, if you go to Nigeria right now, like the Naira is doing terrible. Like I get an update on it every day because like majority of my friends are Nigerian. And one of my friends posted a video. He's like, man, why these niggas ain't revolted yet? He's like, they peaceful protesting. I was like, you're right. If I can't get a biscuit to eat, man, forget peaceful protesting. Somebody gotta come to the town square and talk to us, you know, or we gonna overrun the governor's house or something, you know. So I think when everybody is aligned, your vote it can do a lot. That's why I greatly believe in like my local politics. I vote all the time. I do my research. I print out the ballot first so I can go through and read everybody little whatever what they doing. And it doesn't matter what party you are. It's like what you doing for my neighborhood, for my district, for the people, X, Y, and Z. So I believe that voting is important, but it's just so much what's the word? Like division. Yeah, that like I can see why somebody would feel like they vote don't matter, you know?
And I feel that, I'm sorry, I don't know if you're about to start, but I feel the same way that you do as far as like people, I just feel like people should go past talking at this point. Like we march, we scream, and we all get together and protest.
Oh, violence, right?
So, hear me out.
Okay.
That's just the answer.
I'm not saying it's right, and I'm telling you how I feel, but I'm not saying it's correct. I'm saying if we just even say mass shootings and stuff like that, you really gotta make people feel you. And like this talking shit's been going on for so long, and it's like, cool, y'all had a day, y'all was in the streets, and somebody got to clean up the streets, and of course a fight breaks out, and then now it's still division.
Because real talk, they don't care about.
That's how I feel.
Jose DeSantos at Robb Elementary,
I never care about their kids either.
Andre Gonzalez at Robb Elementary. It's very different. Even the kids up, what's that one school? Yeah, what's the name of it? Sandy Hook. You know, like, and those were some affluent kids. You know, the problem is that, and it's literally exactly what you're saying. You gotta, you know, people like, oh, that's petty. No, you need to feel me.
Yeah, we've been marching for how long?
You need to feel me, and that's the thing. Like, people, if it's not affecting them, it's difficult for them to relate to it. You know, I mean, that's my opinion. Aaron T. Campbell. So
this kind of politics sounds crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
scary.
When it comes to in my house, in my household, I feel like me and my girl, we have.
She's from Cali.
Yeah, but you know it's funny. Like
she also has very strong opinions.
But my girl is Native American, and her family still has like property and reservations and stuff like that. Like she even has their clothes that she still wears. So she's very much like they took shit from us. You know what I'm saying? So, she's also on the same type of time that I'm on, but the problem is, I'm willing to risk this shit all. I'm really risk it all. And sometimes she'd be like, no, because I can see that when it comes to coming together, they've put enough fear into people to make you not, right? And so sometimes when me and my girl, even though we are on the same page with very much similar beliefs, we have some different, but we do have a lot of similar beliefs. I'm willing to go further than she is because there's a level of fear for her. Like she thinks about the kids, and I'm like, well, the kids gonna remember their dad, and everybody gonna remember their dad on my Malcolm X, right? And I've always been that way though. When I stand for something, right, I have no fear for it. If I stand for it and I strongly stand for it, good luck, because I'm gonna do whatever I want to do to make it happen. And whatever comes with it, comes with it. But my girl, on the other hand, she's on some like, no, relax, because this, that, the third. So, and there's times that like I've wrote crazy music. That's why I stopped writing music, because when I would write music, I start writing music about lots of truths and things that I've gathered and learned, et cetera, that would probably shapeshift, especially with my social media presence. But I feel like that's my duty as a human. We are talking about voting. Really, we're just talking about coming together. And really, the way they do the job of dividing is like, all right, cool. All right, I'm going to make an example out of somebody for you. Then everybody shut up. And then they might breadcrumb a little something just to make everybody be like, okay, we moved the needle just a little bit, but you're still so far behind. And in all honesty, they don't care. You know how they say like a place is dangerous. You go to a country, they say this. Like I remember when I was going to
Colombia. They say Jamaica and Mexico are dangerous.
But then,
well, right now I heard Jamaica is actually really dangerous.
I was over there the other day.
But that's my point. Like they always say it until they scare you. Like there was a couple I spoke to a long time ago from somewhere overseas, and they were like, yo, wow, I never knew the roads in America were so bad. I thought it was perfect here, because it's all fucking marketing. So they probably market me to be scared to go over there, just like they market that it's perfect over here.
Child, I vote for everything. Like
but money plays a part in that. Like politics is money. Like that's why I don't believe in the voting part too much. Like it's money in positions of power. And then if you have, like for example, let's just say hypothetically the whole project building in Newark and Weequahic Park decide it's like one of the parts in Newark.
Jersey.
No, like what's you're saying the project building? Like what is?
It's like a very low income poverty area.
Oh, the project.
Yeah, project building.
Okay. I was
yeah.
about to say, Aaron,
So, like,
you know damn well what the projects are.
No, that's not. I thought he was saying that there's a
project.
They're building something.
No, I mean like a low income housing, right? And like let's just say, I don't know, there's 1,000 people in that one building, hypothetically, right? And those 1,000 people decide to go out and vote for the new sheriff of Newark. The people that are downtown that got the money, and they might be only 100 of them, but they got the money. So those 1,000 people who are poor, those votes don't count to the 100 people with the money. In my opinion, this is not a fact. This is just what I believe.
Depends on how your districts are set up, because those 1,000 people in that really dense space really could have more voting power than the people who live in single family homes in the other area.
But you got to believe that they're actually. You got to believe that they're actually
going by that.
No. But this is the thing, and I know what you're about to say. Exactly.
All right, so I got a question, right? Staying kind of like on this thing where I guess, you know, because they say that the things that you shouldn't talk about is religion, politics, And is there anything else? There's a third one, isn't there?
Pay.
And yeah, how much you make or money. All right, so obviously, well, I know you have a daughter, but I know you two don't have any kids yet. But maybe you could give me what you would
Heavy
think
on
that
the
you would
yet.
do in a situation where you were in a relationship and a marriage, and you have a child, and one parent or your spouse is of a different religion, believes in a different religion, and they want your kid to believe in that religion that differs from you.
They've been this the whole time. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like
Got
you've known,
married into
like let's just say I'm Muslim,
Yeah.
and well, that wouldn't work because typically the marriage has to be Muslim.
You're Muslim?
No. Hypothetically,
Oh,
typically, I'm Muslim and my girl is Catholic, and we have a kid, and my girl wants the kid to be Catholic. I want the kid to be Muslim. I don't know if anybody here is in religion, but how would you deal, or what advice would you give to somebody who's dealing with a division of religion within their kid in their household?
I actually just watched a movie on this. Like that was the plot of the movie. It was called Dear God. It's I think her name was.
I think I've seen this.
Well, it was on TV. I don't know if it is on Netflix
okay.
as well. But her parents were. Her mom was Christian. Her dad was Jewish, and
It means she had to be Christian.
well, their solution was they would wait till she was old enough to pick her own religion. So they didn't raise her Christian, they didn't raise her Jewish because it actually caused conflict between their families. The Christian wife, like her family, like disowned her for marrying a Jewish man. So because religion was such a conflict in their marriage, they didn't want to raise their daughter with any kind of religion. They were like, when she's old enough, she'll choose if she wants to be Jewish, if she wants to be Christian, if she wants to be any other religion, which I feel like was the most reasonable solution, because it's like, what do you do when you have such opposing religions or ways of like raising a child?
So my understanding is actually in the Jewish tradition, and maybe this is probably like my friends who are not like the strict Jews,
Hasidic.
not even Hasidic, but just like there's another word.
Practicing.
Orthodox?
We'll say practicing, because it's not Hasidic or Orthodox, but like like in their faith, it's like you go with the mother's religion. So like one of my best friends growing up, his dad was, I think, Catholic, but we'll just say Christian, and then his mom was Jewish. So he was raised Jewish, like had a bar mitzvah, like all of that. Went to Hebrew school, blah blah blah, whatever. So I guess like tradition wise, that's what they do. Somebody can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, because I'm sure y'all will. Huh? Right, that it's the mothers.
It is
Yeah,
true.
for the Jews, like it's whatever the mother's faith is. But with respect to what I would do, I mean, I would like, take them to regular church, take them to synagogue. When you want to make a decision, do what you want to do.
And
I personally
also,
wouldn't care.
Also in the movie, they purposefully did not ever take her to church or to the synagogue.
Oh,
When she went to go visit her grandmother for the weekend or whatever, and she was like curious because her grandmother always went to temple. She was just like I want to go with you. Like, let's go. And her grandmother was super excited, and she was like, okay, cool. And then when her other grandparents came to visit, she was like, well, she's Jewish. She came to temple with me. And it was just like, it caused a whole big thing, because it was just like, because her curiosity struck, and she was like, I just want to see what, going to what? Struck.
I knew. I ain't
Me and him.
I was gonna say it, but then
wait, I know he didn't.
No, it was.
No, they
it was-
both
it was
they both did something, and I'm
Rome
like,
did- Rome did
what
it, and I was
was
like-
that? What?
Rome did it, so I was like,
It's normally us two.
I was like,
It felt funny coming out of my mouth, but I was just like, but damn, they just reacted over there.
I didn't
so-
react. I was just listening. I was letting it go. It was Rome.
Definitely.
No, he did. No, it definitely was Rome. And he
was
looked
like-
at
he was
Rico,
looking at-
and
no.
Rico did something with his face
No,
too.
he
And I'm
didn't
like,
look at me. He heard me because he was like this, and he went like this,
Back of my head.
and then I kind of like
He laughed.
laughed.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So I had a girl I dated, and her father and her mother was entertaining the idea of divorce because they were both Catholic, and then at some point the mother converted to becoming a Jehovah's Witness.
Real talk, like, I don't know, it's not a big deal to me. Like, and Alan just brought this up. Like, it's not an immutable trait.
Yeah.
It's not your
Identity.
how you appear. Is not your.
Unless you have to dress like it.
It's not your sex. You know, is it sex
That
or
changes
gender?
everything.
Gender.
No, it's not your gender, right? Or is it? Wait, is it?
Wait.
Yeah. Sex
No.
is like
Which one is
you
it?
can't change.
Okay, so it's not your gender. Regardless, it's not an immutable trait. You know, so actually, for that reason, I would say I would just leave it up to the kid to figure out what it is they want to be. Now, don't be bringing no bullshit into my house.
That's what happens though.
No, no, I mean, but you can be that on your own.
What is bullshit? What?
Some atheist shit, basically.
I don't know. I don't feel like atheism would bother me.
Well, if you,
No. I don't know. Just don't come here and talk
Well,
about.
I feel like
drink bat blood.
every
it's
religion-
like, shit that's unsanitary.
It's like
just
every
do that
religion is
shit
a
in the
belief
yard.
system. If you don't
You know?
believe that there's any higher being, like you can't really blame them.
No, I said it can't be unsanitary. Don't
No.
bring that bullshit to my house.
No, I was explaining the atheist.
crosses on the wall, and your son or daughter comes in and be like,
That's not what I
I don't
mean.
believe in that. That's not what she's saying. That's not what she's saying.
Oh wait.
Oh wait, if you had what upside down crosses? What did you
How
say?
about if you had crosses on the wall and your son or daughter came in and turned them upside down, that'd be the bullshit.
Yeah, like this.
No,
my
that-
house.
yeah, that's
You a
scary.
beggar. I pay the bills here.
That's scary.
You a
Outta here.
beggar.
Like, come on, like let's be reasonable. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't go in your mama's house turning her crosses upside down.
I've actually
over on the.
Fucking devil
had
child.
this conversation with the girlfriend that I had. She was Seventh-day Adventist.
What they believe?
I was that one time.
What is that?
I don't. What they believe in?
It's
I don't
very
know.
close to the Hebrew practices. Like you have the 7 days of Saturday, Friday night, Saturday. You celebrate the Sabbath.
Right, you celebrate Sabbath. Almost like Jews. So on
But it's a
the
Christian
Friday, So from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, you cannot do anything.
Would you sleep?
Just sit still?
Well, you can't.
Like you
work.
can't drive, you can't work.
Or
Like
be outside, like walking everywhere.
yeah, that's why Jews walk. They don't drive or whatever. You'll always see them on the street because they can't do anything.
on the Sabbath.
Right.
Wait, but you can walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. You.
What are the rules? Like, what is it that you?
I know
cannot
that.
do?
Okay, so I know that they don't take elevators.
The 7 day.
Yeah.
Electronics, you can't do
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
anything electronically. So they take stairs. They don't use the elevator. They don't drive.
Man, healthy.
They walk.
And where does this particular set of rules like come from? Like, okay, no use of cell phones. You can't tell me like 100 years ago they were saying no in the rule book.
No electronics.
No, to be honest,
When
this
the iPhone
kind
15
of like
Don't pick that up.
It's in the New Testament.
this kind of thing has always like sparked curiosity in me because I didn't really understand it. Like I didn't understand why it was a thing at all, but I also am not that religious. Like I didn't grow up that religious. Like, yeah, I believe in God. Yeah, I guess I would call myself a Christian, but I don't go to church. I didn't grow up going to church, like to be honest. So
With your Jamaican daddy? Baby,
actually
they love to be at church.
his mother would take me to
Okay.
church every once in a while, but she is also Seventh-day Adventist, which I only found out like 2 years ago, to be honest. I did not know that.
She be doing stuff on.
No, she don't. No, and she sews. And my sister went downstairs because she lives downstairs from us. My sister went to go ask her to sew something for her, and she said, "It's Saturday, honey. I cannot." And I was like,
I actually, so when I used, I mean,
I guess I'm 7 day Adventist too.
yo,
I was so surprised. Like they don't want to do it. They cannot do anything. But I had asked her. I said, "Well, when you have kids, because actually she started being Seventh-day Adventist because her mom was, her grandmother was, but she didn't. Honestly, she would cheat a little bit. To be honest, she wasn't supposed to be going nowhere, and sometimes she was going out on a Friday night when she knows she wasn't supposed to be going out. So I was asking her, I was like, when you eventually have kids, are you going to raise them to be Seventh-day Adventists? And she was just like, yeah, I think so. I think my mom would want that. And I was I was like a little taken aback because I was like, well, if it's gonna be with me, like, shorty, I don't know about that because I don't know if I would want my kid to be 7-day
I don't know
Adventist.
what your mama got to do with it. That would be my first question.
And that's a lot of religion stems from the parents.
No, yeah, when you grow up religious, it was actually it was very hard for her to like break away from like her parents and their religion, to be honest. Everything was like, oh, my mom, and we believe this and blah, blah, blah.
Everything is all cool and dandy until you have a kid. And then you're like, wait a minute, I don't want you setting alarms and making my kids stop what they do to do a prayer for your religion. And then I feel like when you watch your kids start doing the practices of a religion, that's where it can become conflicting.
But that said, why would you not automatically assume that this person who has these very strong religious beliefs, why would you not assume that that is what they would want their child to be?
You know, everybody cheats in their religion, right? So
I don't know.
not everybody, but like when you dating somebody, right? I would think like, well, I'm thinking about this really from the aspect that's a little bit different from my ex-girlfriend's parents. And they came into the religion together. And then the wife changed to Jehovah Witness. And then the wife, which is her mother, convinced her to change to Jehovah Witness. And that's where everything in that household went south. So, I mean, I think from it in the sense of like you watch everybody just cheat on their religion all day long and pick and choose which ones they want to believe in. And then the moment you get a kid, you want to get all spiritual again, right? So like now you want to push it and you want to be, pretty much strict and negating everything you weren't doing prior. And I think that's when it like clicks to that person like, okay, this is a little bit too much because it was kind of out of sight, out of mind.
When you think of like religions, the main tenets of like the main religions, so like Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, like they say, they all have the same core values. Yeah. So it's like if we take those same core values, which I believe are generally aligned with like just good things like be kind, don't kill, don't lie, don't steal. Like these, I don't think you need religion to observe the core values of the main religions, if you will. So I think if people without religion, if people were to instill those values into, themselves and like their kids and their families, then I think that that's where people would not stray or wild out, if that's, that's your word, not mine. So I don't necessarily believe that you have to be religious to be a good person.
I think if everyone was religious to some extent, or I do agree the three or the four main.
What's the fourth?
It's one of the Indian religions, Hindu.
Oh, okay.
So the four main religions do have and share a lot of the same core values. I personally feel like people were really religious and abiding by those core values until they realize that the people who run the world don't. And
the people that run the religions.
Yeah, people that run the religions don't, and the people who run the world don't. And it's like, okay, you are literally a servant to a person and or group of people who are using the religion against you. And that's where people start to, deviate from the religion and say, you know what, forget it, which is upsetting because, again, they do really stand to make you a better person. But are you a better person? Because you can't fight fire with air. It's just going to make the fire grow. Sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. And when you fight fire with fire, that means you might have to go a little bit off track from what you typically believe in. But maybe that is also stated in them too, in those books. Going to war against evil. I have zero clue how it works. Man. I'm just saying.
In the book somewhere, that's what it says.
Right. Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people get lost in religion. Like they get into the.
I literally was just saying people that are too religious sometimes scare me. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. I literally just said that a few days ago.
We have a new religion that is a I guess like a in addition to a core religion every 100 to 200 years, right? They're always like first you have the Bible, which is Christianity, then you have et cetera, then you have et cetera. Then 100 years later, you have Seven-Day Adventists, which like came in like the early 1900s, late 1800s. And then you have another version of Christianity that just came in 1950 or 1960s.
Which one is that?
I don't even know what it's called.
Huh?
What is it? Mormons came in the 1950s and 60s as well. There's another one that stemmed from South Korea, right?
I seen that. Yeah.
It's a woman, God is a woman, right? And it's like every 50 to 100 years, and this is just estimate, we have another version of this religion, right? So there is no real grounding because nobody can, I don't want to say nobody, but people can't interpret or really, translate these books into actual logic and core values. Well, these people get lost or they have their own version of what it means. And then that's when they start their own version of the same religion. And then I don't know if we're going further away or we're going closer to, but what I do know is that people are getting lost by the decades, like more and more lost.
Can I respond to that? I think that and you actually already said this. I think the reason why that happens is because the leadership of these movements and these religions, they use it to control people, to take advantage of people, to, have indiscretions with young girls and women and, all kind of stuff to take people's money. Like, that's the problem. Like, a lot, and I think that's the reason why a lot of people have turned away from certain religions is because of the bad actors. Like, you find out your pastor, browbeat. Not even that. They browbeating you about, Catholics do this or Baptists do that or whatever. But you turn around and you got 3 outside kids. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Or you turn around and
all of them.
Your church is not serving the community that it sits in. But the pastor rolling around in not a regular luxury vehicle,
Rolls Royce,
super luxury vehicle, the $300,000, $400,000 vehicle. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not against the pastor having his own. I ain't even say pastor, but the leader having their own career or business venture or whatever, and they can make money off of that. But when you are in a community and you're taking in tithes and offering, you're taking in resources from that community, but that community cannot turn to you for resources, that is a problem. And I think that is one of the biggest reasons why people, again, turn away from religion, because they're not practicing what they preach. I'll give a perfect example. There's a church in Houston, it's called St. John's. And before I moved away, that was a church I was going to. And the reason why I decided to go there was because I literally could see every day, because I used to pass the church to go to work. Every day, I could see them outside doing something for the community. It's downtown. So they're feeding people. They built a big apartment complex. They're housing people. They are, people may not be comfortable with it, but there would be homeless people coming into church. It might be a nigga sitting next to you that smell like the trash can, but the church was his place of refuge, and they weren't turning people away. And that was the biggest thing that I really liked about that church, was that it served the community that it was in. Yeah. And the pastor could be doing anything. He might have 7 kids on the outside or whatever, but my biggest thing is that you can't continue to take. Yeah. You taking tithes and offering, but what are you giving?
And giving out crumbs.
Yeah, if I go to this church and my lights are about to get cut off, and I've been faithfully giving to this church, and you can't let me hold something for a light bill, it's a problem.
These non-profit organizations be so profitable. Like, we should talk about that.
People rather than the word itself, like the word itself. Like, if you go to the source. Yes, I do believe that another reason that people turn away from religion, and I said this, is it's the people who lead the religion, but the problem is this: you can't be a pastor every Sunday, you preaching against X, you preaching against Y, you preaching against Z, but you up there overweight. Gluttony is a sin.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can't, baby, you can't tell me nothing when you sitting up here not following the rules that you're teaching. When it comes, of course, they are men and women. They're flesh. You know what I'm saying? And we're of the world. But when you take on that responsibility to lead a congregation, to lead a synagogue, to lead a Catholic church, you can't be out there wilding. Otherwise, you need to go work at UPS.
Yep.
You need to go be a lawyer. You need to go do something else and not be the head of a church, of a synagogue or whatever. I'm sorry, like that, but you have a huge responsibility to your parishioners, to your members, or whatever you want to call it. And you can't take that lightly, because at the end of the day, if you're not operating according to what it is you're teaching and preaching, you're going to turn more people away than you bring in to your doors, to your religion.
This is why I'm not that deep in religion. No, honestly, because pastors, honestly, I know people look up to them. They're supposed to do X, Y, and Z, but they are not God. They are human beings. They are human. They are human beings. And I understand that, you know, people look up to them and, you know, people expect them not to do X, Y, and Z. But the only person I talk to, you can't see them.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is, do not put yourself in a position such that people look up to you. That's the difference. Like, baby, Aaron Campbell can't be no pastor. Sorry. Because
I'll be contradictful.
right, I'm not willing to put myself in a position that I'm doling out what the word says, what God says, what we supposed to be doing, while I'm over here not doing it. What I look like.
But the thing, and you know the thing is, these people,
Or I'm overweight, because gluttony is a sin.
but and the thing is, I
was about to say, you real hard on that one.
But no. The reason why I bring that up is only because you have pastors 300 pounds.
Have you ever been swallowed?
No. Swallowed. No. But the only reason I say that is because people try to act like sins are not the same. All
Yep.
sins are equal.
they pick and choose their sins.
Exactly.
It gets me mad.
So it's like, no, you can't sit up here and tell the homosexuals in the church that there's something wrong with them, but you sitting up here eating fried chicken and turkey necks and cornbread, and you 300-400 pounds. No, a sin is a sin.
I mean, I do agree.
And you can't say that, how do you say gluttony? How did you gluttony? Gluttony is, I'm like,
Gluttony is
I was like, wait, what did you say?
I'm gluten free.
And I done shot somebody. We the same.
No, it is. I mean, technically, it is the same. But my thing is this: nobody, I don't say nobody, but people specifically in America are never taught to do the work themselves to find information. We're taught to sit in a classroom and we get the information told to us and we take it as word as bond. So then when you go to a church and this pastor could be, or this person of some type of leadership role could be preaching the wrong things. And we'll consume it because that's what we've been doing since the age of 4 or 5 years old. And we'll run with it. And it's literally causing chaos. But I look at it as controlled chaos because we don't see how detrimental it is to coming together, to uniting, detrimental to what happens if I told somebody right now the dating pool doesn't have piss in it, you're just not in the right religion.
What?
like the core values that you hold might be in the Muslim household or the Muslim religion. You get what I'm saying? Versus maybe a Catholicism might be better for you and what you tend to be attracted to, or you know, whatever it is that goes within those religions. But again, we don't know anything but to listen and take from somebody instead of do this research ourselves. You know, nobody goes and picks up the Bible or picks up a dictionary or picks up, you know, some type of literature and decide to say, I'm going to teach myself, but hopefully that book is of the source, right? But I'm going to teach myself what it is and what the truth is. We all go and say, okay, cool. This person that was given a role or they assumed to take this role, we should just respect that they're in this position and take their word as somewhat of a truth, if not the truth. And we get lost.
I don't know. Dope conversation. I actually really liked the fact that we talked about different aspects of relationships because, to be honest, I feel like these are real issues that people are encountering, you know, in their relationships. And it's taboo. And I'm be honest, ain't nobody talking about this. Ain't nobody talking about what you do with your kids when the mama, the nation, and the daddy is
Over.
Why? No,
We're
they
gonna,
know.
we're gonna see 17 stats. After this, we're gonna see 17 stats of how many different religions are in the same household.
We can guarantee that. we can definitely guarantee.
You're gonna have a new divorce rate based on religion and different religions. It's gonna be crazy.
But you know what? That's actually a good point because I think who said it? Like they were Catholics and they were thinking about divorce.
Married Catholics. Yeah.
I think a lot of life decisions are based on what your religion is. You know,
A lot, yeah.
think about it. Like what you believe in the nation is going to dictate how your household moves, how you move as a person. You know, especially if you're strict. And then same with Catholicism, no abortion. Yeah. You know, like I knew girls in high school who was pregnant at like 14. They were like, "Baby, Jesus said." So they had a baby at 14, you know? Yep. So again, going back to Alan's initial statement, it drives so much of what we do, but sometimes in a bastardized way.
I got a question. We can use this, right?
Next time?
Well, no, we're not gonna answer it. Open-ended.
Oh.
Yeah. If the person that is the perfect partner for you, whatever you deem the perfect partner, would you convert your religion to be with that person? Comment below.
Yeah. Do you have to be observant? We really appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Make sure you check us out on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
You can cash app us at 8 at the table.
Yeah, cash app us at 8 at the table.
Or cash app at Caked by Mandy. KACAKED.
She said KAC.
I said K. Right, spelling my own shit wrong.
Gluttony and
whatever your religion is. Now, but real talk. Appreciate y'all. We're out. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time.
Peace.